All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back here to close out the week Friday, February 11th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully no blue screen of death here for this afternoon meeting. Great to see Chuck. Great to see all of our students live, rejoining us inside our live trading room. Mario, Lori included, Ron W, loud and clear from everybody so far. So great to see them. Great to see you on social media as well for all of us joining us back on Facebook Live or YouTube. So without further ado, folks, let's hop into it. I'm going to have my fingers crossed as I begin this meeting, make sure at least I don't have my computer restarting like it did to begin yesterday, right? So, let's try and actually go through things rather quickly with that in mind as well. Market's been dropping off, right? Actually, to begin, I don't know why it had the same little issue here like it had yesterday with my chart, but the SPY's been dropping off all from the early morning heading into right now. So with that, we've been following AMC, the SoFi trade, recently NEO, Palantir, Robinhood, basically all of these stocks that trade millions and millions of shares on a day-to-day basis. Hey, if they give good bang for the buck, then why not? And what I mean by that, folks, is this really quickly, because, we have a lot more time to elaborate about this throughout our curriculum, throughout the phase one course in particular. But when it comes down to just scanning the market, and I'm going to try and do this hopefully quick here, but to say, hey, the CTU most active list here, and you could just go on your platform regardless of trade station, if you're on IB or TAS, or, just if there is a scanner that provides the most active stocks across the day. Well, one thing that I like to do is sort out the list based off the average true range, the ATR. And if there's a stock that's, 15, 20 bucks, that's making a very big move, across the last 2 weeks or so, then that's something that I'm going to be more following as like a side list stock. So that's why I've been talking so much about, AMC and SoFi and all of these really throughout the day. Let's see here. Sort this out by the ATR. And I'm sure there's plenty of others that are more expensive, perhaps. I see like Lucid and Mara. Mara is moving over $2.50 every day. So obviously those are all great stocks to follow, but AMC is like a $20, $19, $18 stock. It's making a $2.04 move on average. So how could I not follow a stock like that? Well, another stock that I was following from today, and I just said it before, Robinhood. Hood. And that's not one that I typically trade every single day. This is probably like the second time over the last month that I was following that. But that's the one I wanted to jump to first. I'm actually short on Robinhood right now. So I'm currently in. My price is at 1338. I may get stepped out. We'll see what happens if the market makes a little bounce from this point. If that's the case, then I'll likely, take a small loss. But I was hoping to see a lower low on this trade going into the afternoon. It's only down 1+%. But hey, this could be a great stock to go with the market heading into the rest of the day here. Obviously, AMC, you could say the same thing on. And we'll take a look at some of these other side list stocks, as we like to phrase them, stocks that just go with the market. Fausto during the morning meeting, he would call that secondary protocol likely. So, another trade, NEO, down nearly 5% right now, just ended up breaking a new low just a moment ago, albeit pushing back above 24. I could easily put this on our watch list to begin. It's down, near that 5%, in like the AMC trade or Robinhood at least. And I'll do that actually. So I don't mind adding NEO here to our main watch list to start. NIO. All right. And then I'll tell you what, just to make things pretty easy, folks, we'll go right from top to bottom now. We'll see what else we can work with going into the rest of the day. Actually, what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to cut ties in my Robinhood trade now. Getting out at 41. So I took a 3-cent loss on that instead of a 6. All right. So with that, we ended up seeing KAVL make another big move after the market had opened up this morning. I mean, really all across this week and the end of last week, we've been following this. So this has just been on our morning watch lists, afternoon lists, or otherwise side lists since. And right now it's pulling back, not really making a great move up. So we're not going to put this here on the, watch list for this afternoon, but keep it in mind for Monday. Just check back in with it come Monday morning. YMAB. I forgot about this one, actually. Fausto is calling this out at least going into the mid-morning, going into 10 o'clock rather, 10:30. Ended up making a really nice pop. I mean, really out the gate as soon as the market opened. But, from 7 up towards just around 875 and hit its high there and pulled back here right now. Maybe there's a bounce play off of 8. Maybe there's a bounce play off of 780 or 750. I'm just very much shooting from the hip when I say that. It could still be tradable. I don't really feel a great need to put this on our watch list here for the close. Yeah, we'll see what else we got. I'll tell you what, Robinhood, as soon as I got out on that thing, it actually just pulled right back down. What do I tell you students all the time? I actually just went against one of my own cardinal rules. Don't go against your first instinct. I had my stop set on that trade. I was willing to risk the 6 cents. I just got out early because I wanted to just focus on the scanners here, right? And that's not a bad idea, but Robinhood just pulled right back down. There wasn't really much of a need to get out of that short, it seems like. NXU for right now, pushing on up. Nexus Cap Corp. Looks like a new stock, new IPO that was recently listed on the NYSE. Is that the case here? All-time highs. I don't know. I don't really feel a great need to put this on our list right now, just given the liquidity. It's at all-time highs, like I just said. But otherwise, just big spread right now. It's like a 17-cent spread for a $12 stock. Not worth it. All right, so we'll keep it going. I got a bunch of lines here, folks. So pardon that. I mean, I'm just showing you the exact screen I traded off of from this morning. But this MODD trade was one that we called out from earlier. I actually had a nice slingshot on this off of 5. Once this ended up breaking under 5 and back over, I didn't enter right away. I was a little reluctant. But what sold me on it was the fact that we ended up seeing this big iceberg order pop up on the bid shortly afterwards. And that led me to jump in at 5:02. And about a minute, 2 minutes later, ended up making this beautiful pop. It got halted. I ended up getting out before the halt. And then a couple of us ended up getting out shortly after me, like Mark D. I think one of our longtime students did that. I forgot whom else, so I apologize. But I know a couple of us ended up getting in and out on this stock right off the halt, and then from there, just unfortunately, as much as it moved up, came screaming back down, got halted down, and we know what happens when a stock gets halted down. So it's been game over since. I'm really kind of kicking myself for getting out on Robinhood. I'll show you that trade as we hop over to the loser side here, or finish up rather at the end. That one's still dropping off, it seems. Had a good day otherwise, so really can't complain. I'm not going to cry over spilt milk, but that seems like a nice trade. VMEO also seeming to be a nice trade, at least from earlier today, and still kind of holding strong to its highs for the afternoon. The stock ended up getting clobbered, right? Back from, if it wasn't Wednesday after hours, Thursday pre-market, dropped off quite a bit. And at the time, let me double check. I thought it was all-time lows on this trade. Yeah, new IPO back from last year, all-time lows. It is shortable, but for right now, at least pushing back on up. So, hey, this NEO trade so far we have on our list, and we'll add the VMEO here, Vimeo. With the market dropping off, I mean, I don't want to click on UVXY because it's probably going to freeze my screen or make it lag a bit. But UVXY ETF, when the markets are moving up or down pretty sharply, that's the only time or reason that we would look to focus on an ETF. So UVXY in particular, I'll add to our list here as well for anyone that does pretty well on them day to day. With the market dropping off, that's near the highs still, right? You could say the same probably on SOXS. This is a semiconductor bearish ETF. So when AMD, Micron, Intel are moving up, this drops and vice versa. Shoot, Robinhood just keeps dropping. Did anyone jump in on any shorts to begin the meeting? I know Gary clocked out on a nice short on AMC as we started. He picked up 39.40 cents on his trade. Anybody from Cyber Group currently short with the market right now on any trades? Mark says no sweat. I'm just asking out of curiosity, if anything. Zillow, I mean, hey, Zillow's trading a ton of shares per minute right now. Don't get me wrong. And it's very, very volatile. Made a big drop off at least after the morning from 58 down to 54. I could put this on our list here. I don't really feel a great need to, just given the price. That's all. Kath says no. Chuck, no trades. Ari says just UVXY, a long short with a winky face. There you go. And Dylan says shorted SoFi for 50 cents. Dylan, there we go, man. Nice trade. There we go, Dylan. All right, cool. BTU, I forgot about BTU from earlier today. Made a nice pop. Fausto had called this out from the morning. Still holding strong, surprisingly, here as the markets are still beginning to fall off. But yeah, BTU getting a nice push. So we'll definitely add BTU to our list. Stock's more of like a good swing trade stock to follow. Has great range on the daily chart. You could just tell. So yeah, I mean that's been more of a swing trade than a day trade. But with where it's at right now, it's definitely a day trade too here. All right, I'll tell you that's pretty much all I see across the gainer side, folks. The only other one I was going to jump to was KOS here. Little slow. I knew it was another energy stock, so with BTU up, I just wanted to look at that briefly. But let's hop on over to the losers list here first, or next. PRQR ended up dropping off this morning. Believe it or not, it was actually shortable from trade stations then. I didn't really follow it as a short. If anything, I was anticipating more of a dead cat bounce. But it certainly goes to what Fausto says in the morning broadcasts that I do with him. And he was really harping on it today, right? For Norman and Chuck later, you folks were there, these pharma stocks don't come back, right? So if it's in the sense of, hey, if you end up seeing this type of drop off, last thing you want to do is hold on to a long trade as it potentially moves up. I mean, hey, there's a chance this can make the proverbial dead cat bounce. And if it does that, great. But if you hold on too long, that's where this ends up dropping back down. And from that point, these stocks rarely, if ever, come back. Really quick, if you don't believe me. I always jump to ARDX here as my case study. So you can interpret the daily chart any way that you want to right there, but it's not coming back, right? All right, so let's keep going across the losers side. I would imagine for there to be more on the losers list here. AFRM was one from the afternoon that we kind of caught smack in the middle of the meeting, right? We ended up seeing the stock just get crushed going into like 2:30, 2:45 Eastern time yesterday, and right now only continuing to drop off. So definitely, I'll be more keen to follow this AFRM, if anything, as more of a short as well heading into the afternoon. AFRM. What else do we have here? Fresh, is this Hello Fresh? Yeah, food company? No. Freshworks, Class A common stock. I mean, hey, it's trading 3.3 million right now. It's shortable. That's mainly why I clicked on it within our price range. And I'll tell you, it's pulling back pretty nice. Pulling back, making this little move down quite nicely here. So it's showing that it's tradable to a degree. Spread's not too big. Liquidity is a little thin, so I'll give you that. It's not one that we've really traded before. That's why I'm kind of being more, cautious while kind of looking at this trade. It's near all-time lows. That's kind of my selling point for putting this on our watch list here as a more interesting trade to follow. So like I just said, it was, pretty tradable to begin with. It's at all-time lows. So that definitely piques my interest more than anything right there. All right, cool. All right, what else do we have here across the loser side? Maybe I go to the top 100 rather than the top 50, because I'll tell you, a number like 38 right now is down 11%. So there's probably a lot more that we can, really try and find. Let's just try and kind of flip through here really quick if my scanners don't refresh on me. Got the AMD trade down big. That's obviously pretty expensive, but that also is really liquid. That AMD trade out of a more expensive stock. Maybe we'll just check in with AMD. SOXX, the bearish semiconductor ETF, was on the gainers list. So it doesn't hurt us to put AMD on our watch list, especially given the stock's on a pretty consistent like 1 to 2 cent spread, right? So AMD could be a great one. I would assume you could put a lot more stocks that look like this on our list. So if there's anything that you folks have for me here in the chat board, let me know. Micron obviously making the same type of drop off as AMD. The semis are getting hit. SoFi, another sideless stock, down big right now. AMC is a little choppy. So, hey, I love AMC, right? But, even right now, I'm not as keen to put this on our watch list, at least compared to like the semiconductors. Those look really strong or really weak, really strong on the way down, however you may phrase it. Chuck calling out Ford at the low of the day. How can we not, right? That looks great. KPTI going to pass on here, Norman. At least for right now. Maybe after 3 o'clock, we'll reconsider. X on the way down from Ron W. I mean, like, how could we not, right? Like, the stock's at the lows, trading 59,000 shares a minute. That's a lot. That's exactly what we would want to see. Mark asking about FLNC. It's at all-time lows. Very similar type of move as the FRSH trade, right? I feel like that FRSH, though, is kind of steadier in its direction recently. So I'm going to be a little picky and choosy because, for any of our longtime students, you folks know me, I could put like a, 15, 20 stock watch list out there. I'd rather not. So, I got to be a little selective right now. AMD, Micron, those all look really good. So I'll put those in particular on the list. Check out like an airline or cruise line here. American Airlines looks pretty weak here. Down over 5%. CCL, right? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it down to this, and hopefully it's not too big of a watch list here as well. But AMD will go with as a more expensive stock for anyone that has a little more interest in the more expensive ones. We'll go Micron. We'll go X from Ron. I like that one. We'll go an airline like American Airlines. We'll go cruise line like Carnival. I think that's a pretty decent list. Ford will slip on there as well. And Robinhood, which is still dropping off. I easily should have stayed in that trade. Can't do everything at the same time, folks. Sometimes I'm in a trade and I go through the lists and then I blow like a 20-cent profit and look like a jerk in front of you. So I didn't want to do that, but had a little egg on my face here by getting out too early, clearly. So, I'll catch another trade, whether it's on Robinhood or any of the other stocks that are dropping off heading into the close. No problem there. Folks, if there's anything else, let me know. But otherwise, I think we'll call it for anyone kind of anticipating Bitcoin analysis. I mean, it's dropping with the market. What do you want me to say? I mean, I've been telling you that it was going to pull back down towards like 40, 41,000. That's still my expectation. I'm going to come out with a video probably tomorrow. We'll put it on our YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, do that just right away. Go right to youtube.com/cybertradingu. Again, we'll talk about Bitcoin and crypto heading into tomorrow. All right. Kennedy says, I know it's pricey, but my longtime favorite, Lululemon. I did well on it today, up about $1, I think you should say. So let's take a look on Lululemon. That is more expensive. I haven't looked at Lulu in so long. Maybe because it's $318 stock. I actually remember Lululemon when it was like a $60, $70 stock, if I'm not mistaken. We're talking like 2015. Yeah. 2015, 2016. Sheesh, I didn't even realize it hit like near 500. That's interesting to say the least there. All right, folks, I think we're going to call it. We have a really good list to work with all together. I mean, just follow the SPY mainly, because a lot of these will look to move with the SPY. If you see some big short covering heading into the close, expect some bounces. Otherwise, if we happen to see continuation on the way down, then, hey, Robinhood's likely to test 13. AMD is likely to continue to break down lower. The same for all of these. So for all of us on YouTube, Facebook Live, I appreciate you sticking with me each and every day, each and every afternoon. No freeze-ups today. Feel good to be back on the winning side of things there. Enjoy the weekend. If you have any other questions for any one of us on our social streams, feel more than free to send over a quick email. My email address is josh@ctutrading.com. If you wanted to continue the audio broadcast inside our live trading room, just go right down to the link on the yellow banner below there to get yourself started. For all of us there right now, Dylan, Scott, Bill, Kennedy, Chuck, Leda, all of us otherwise, I look forward to talking to you folks right at 3:30. Take care.